I am Tonette R. Stewart, and I currently teach Sunday school at Central Baptist Church, and I currently teach line dancing at the Kingsley Association.
My name is Luther Sewell, and I'm the publisher of Talk Magazine, a 57-year-old statewide publication started here in Pittsburgh in 1962.
Hi, I'm Roxanne Sewell, and I also work with Talk Magazine, and I've been there now for about 10 years, enjoying it all. We work statewide, and we enjoy our work.
Well, I'm Sly Jock, and I'm a disc jockey. Well, that consists of a street jock, radio jock, and I did radio jock about 30 years almost, and street jock, and I was, that's where I really started off. And I did some comedy, plays, singing. I thought I was going to be a singer. I thought I was going to go to Hollywood and make it big, but that didn't happen. But anything to do with music, that was me. Sly Jock of Pittsburgh.
Hi, I'm Kathy Humphrey, and I serve as the Senior Vice Chancellor for Engagement and the Secretary to the Board of Trustees at the University of Pittsburgh. Now that's what I do, but who am I? I am a person who is fortunate to have answered the call that has been placed on my life in many areas. I have been called to be a wife, and I have been that for 34 years. To an incredible man named Lyle Humphrey. I have been called to be a mother, and I've done that for 27 years. And I am called to do the work that I do with young people and to be an encourager to women, to help people through circumstances and situations. I have been called to the ministry, and I have been called to be on the planet to make a difference in the places where I stand. So if I tell you who I am first of all a child of the King. And second of all, I am a person who is working to complete my purpose here on the planet.
Hi, I'm Sophia Germanaro. I volunteer at Nabhi Christian Ministries and at McGee Women's Hospital. I'm the founder of Vive & Co. Vive & Co is a platform that celebrates the accomplishments of extraordinary women. I'm going to graduate in 2020, and I plan to go to Northeastern University in the fall of 2020.
My name is Wayne Jones. I'm the CEO of the Penn Hills Charter School of Entrepreneurship.
I'm motivated by God's grace and mercy. It was in 2005 when I was in a car accident, and I literally drug myself to work for almost a year after that. But I retired myself in 2006 at the age of 49, and I was fortunate enough to find the Healthy Black Family Project at the Kingsley Association. With this particular project, I learned yoga, water aerobics, I was able to do line dancing, and I was able literally to get healthy. And I've kept doing the yoga and the line dancing for 13 and a half years now, so that it has enabled me to be able to help someone else get healthy.
What motivates me every day, and from the beginning, has been independence. I always wanted to be independent. So through my college days, my military days, I've always sought to be independent, and Talk allowed me to be independent.
Well, I'm a bit on the contrary. I've always worked in industry in Pittsburgh for 30 years before I decided to go to work with Luther Sewell, and was a little while after we got married. But it took me a little while to understand being independent. But now think I could ever go back.
Motivation was easy because it's actually the best job in the world, I believe. Getting up early in the morning, especially when I was with my co-host, Angie Corley. We had really fun getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the spirits be up, and you're ready to wake people up in the morning. That's when I did mornings, and no problem whatsoever. It was just the best job in the world. That's all I could say.
So I am motivated to get up every day because I know in each day I have an opportunity to make a difference in someone's life by the work that I do. The greatest payment I have ever received is when I get a thank you note in the mail for something that I didn't really realize I was doing, or when someone stops me to say, "You don't know this, Kathy Humphrey, but because you said this to me, my life has been better." Because that is ultimately what I hope that my life is about making people's lives greater. So it motivates me to get up every day because I think that I can make the places in which I stand different and better.
I was super depressed in the beginning of last year, and I could not even get off the couch. There was no one on social media to help get me out of this funk. Everyone was either an actress, a singer, an Instagram model, and that's just not what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I started Vibe as a platform for girls my age to have people to look up to, successful women. What motivates me is just knowing that I'm helping these girls out who are in similar situations.
So what used to motivate me was just myself. I've always been a big proponent of self-motivation, and holding yourself accountable for your actions and all that you do. But now, at the age of 32 and having my first child being born last year, and he would just turn 1 in May, he's now my motivation.
The most important value that I demonstrate as a leader is my ability to listen. People like to talk. They like to tell you what's going on. And unfortunately, too many of us are trying to overtalk them and finish their sentences instead of listening to them to find out what they really need. As I've learned in the 61 years that I've been here, people don't want you to fix it. They just want you to listen to it.
The most valuable thing, I think, of all the years that I value is truth and communications. And you have to communicate in truth. Let people know exactly where you stand, and you stand by it, and you tell the truth at all times.
I think having a good work ethic is very important to successful work in whatever type of work you do. You do tell the truth. When you work with people and you're looked at as a leader or somewhat of a leader, I think you have to show honesty. You have to show your commitment to service. And in our work, we do show that commitment to service to other people and a commitment to our services to God. So that's a part of what we do as well.
Being a leader is it's a hard situation to put you in. And I'll tell you what, I sit back and I see young kids trying to do the same work that I'm doing, and I feel myself coming in and giving them a hand, telling them this, telling them, little small secrets that they need to learn. And I'll tell you what, I got my secrets from a person that's a great news anchor, Debbie Parker. And she should be commended for that. And I commend her all the time. And that's why I continue to do the work that I do to help young people and to get them in the spot where I'm at or higher. It's just the way it goes. You pass the buck.
So as a leader, I really espouse to Robert Greenleaf, who says that leadership is the act of serving others until they are ready to serve themselves. And I really believe as a leader, you are the ultimate servant. And that servant has vision. And that vision is able to be broke up into pieces so that it can ignite those people who are working with you in order to accomplish something greater.
As a leader and founder of Vive, I'm constantly emailing women that I think would fit the criteria for Vive perfectly, but they're busy, so they rarely respond to my email on the first try. But I have to be diligent and persevere, and that's what I definitely demonstrate as a leader, perseverance.
The most important values for me as a leader is, number one, to be authentic. Always, be true to yourself and don't change, really for anyone or anything. And secondly, to live with humility. It's okay to make mistakes, but you have to be willing to own up to those mistakes. And thirdly is to be resilient. You should never want to give up, regardless of the situation at hand or, how difficult the situation at hand may be.
My greatest accomplishment as a leader. My greatest accomplishment as a leader is the ability to instill in someone else to do what I do. To teach Sunday school and have someone ask a question that they didn't think they could ask, and then go find the answer on their own and come back and tell me that they found the answer. Or remembering all the line dances and all the songs and what steps go with what dance, and then being able to give it to somebody else so that they can do it too.
I think the greatest event and activity that I've shown through my lifetime is to be able to survive for 57 years. And the greatest thing I've done is the leadership of my family by purchasing my mother a house when I was 24 years old. And that has been one of my greatest accomplishments. And marrying my wives and my children have been something that leadership has given me responsibility to achieve those things.
Well, I think for me, my greatest accomplishment as a leader is seeing that our work has been successful, watching people make progress in their daily lives. And beyond that, I would say raising two sons. My two sons that are now 37, and never had too many problems out of them. They're just being mischievous boys. But they've been a blessing, and I think that my greatest accomplishment overall was them.
Well, the biggest accomplishment to me is when we were all on the air, and the one guy that was on the air, he was a program director. My boss. I won't say any names, but the Twin Towers went down. Now, I'd never been in any situation like that before, but I did know, hey, cut the music, cut everything off. This is a big thing. He said, play another record. I said, no way, man, no way. I'm not playing another record, And all of a sudden, after he played that record, the red line rang. And that was the big guy downstairs. I got a little giggle out of that, but at least I knew, from working that, serious news comes before music and before play, That was something, that was lives, and well, we all know what 9/11 was, and that was one of my biggest parts of being a disc jockey and taking it serious and giving the people what was happening.
So, what is my greatest accomplishment? That is really a difficult question for me to answer because I have had such an amazing journey. But I've only had that amazing journey because of all of the people who assisted me in gaining what I have received. Nothing, including tonight, have I received because of me, but everything has been because of my Father in heaven and those who he has used to help me to gain those accomplishments. And if I said that there was one thing that I was proud of, it would be the opportunity to walk beside individuals and assist them in accomplishing their goals.
My greatest accomplishment is shifting focus from myself and my depression to other similarly situated young women and giving them a platform for them to see successful women who overcame adversity as well.
My greatest accomplishment as a leader at the Penn Hills Charter School of Entrepreneurship is first helping my charter school attain a 5-year charter renewal back in 2016. And then secondly, giving us a permanent place to stay. So back in 2018, we purchased about a $3 million facility, which was about 50,000 square feet. It helped us increase our enrollment from about 278 students to a little over 440 this upcoming school year. And so that was a tremendous accomplishment for me.
The most challenging part of my job is remembering what I've studied, what I read, what I have to give to someone else on Sunday morning during Sunday school, what dances I had to learn during the week, and remembering what music goes with what dance and what step goes with what music. That would probably be the most challenging part of what I do.
The one thing that I have looked forward to is waking up every morning projecting out what will happen today, what will happen tomorrow, and how I can make things happen by creating opportunities. And we have been doing that over the 57 years. We started with talk, we end up doing political consulting, we end up having events throughout the state. So it's always whatever is coming next, and are you prepared, and did you prepare yourself for the next move? But it's always looking ahead, and that's the greatest achievement that we have made.
I think he's right in that you always have to be looking at how you can diversify and multiply what each facet of your business can do. And learn that when something isn't working, you either tweak it and make it work, or you might have to let it go and develop something else. So you're always looking at ways to improve your product and how to expand the effectiveness of your product.
It took a few months for me to open up the mic. I didn't open up the mic. I had drops. Wow, you're in the mix with Sly Jock. Boom, this, that. So when it did happen, it was like fireworks, boom, boom, wedding bells, anything you could think of. The 12-gun salute, or how many guns it is, I don't know. But now it's when to shut up.
So the hardest part of my job is managing uncertainty. It is managing the fear that comes with whether or not the connections that you're trying to make, the relationships you're trying to build, the systems you're trying to put in place will actually happen. But the good part of that uncertainty is it has made me stronger and given me the capacity to stare down fear and to move in spite of it.
The most challenging part of my job is probably coming up with content and new ideas to keep the viewers inspired. Between work schedule, school life, and social life, it gets pretty grueling, but we keep on persevering, all for the people.
The most challenging part of my job is to appease and to make everyone happy, and that's all stakeholders, from my board of trustees to my parents, my students, and also my staff. And trying to do so, I always have to keep in the forefront that I'm making the right decision as long as it is the ethical decision to make.
There are a couple things I want to share that you may not know about me. The first being that I got my first solo in church at the age of 4. So technically, in 2019, I have been singing in the church choir for 58 years, and I love every minute of it. And something else you may not know about me, a little more serious, is that my mom died when I was 15 years old. And I went from being a 15-year-old teenage sister to a 15-year-old mother of 6. And that experience in itself prepared me to do what I do now, because you could not falter, you could not mess around, you could not be a teenager. You had to take on adult responsibilities at an early age, which is what I had to do. But I thank God that I had people around me, and my sisters and brothers, we were able to stay together even after my mom died.
I think one of the things that people don't know about me is I've been a member at Trinity AME Church for 76 years. So I've been in the same church ever since I was a 6-year-old boy. And I definitely believe in God and Jesus Christ. And I am a saved Christian. And also my educational background. I've been able to go to Tennessee State, Duquesne, the University of Arizona, and Monterey Peninsula College. So I've been preparing myself all these years, and it's with the help of those people in my community that really help develop me and give me the opportunity to grow.
Well, I think most people don't know, I think, that I have twin sons, that I'm born and raised here in Pittsburgh, grew up in Homewood, and graduated from Westinghouse High School. I've enjoyed my life here in Pittsburgh, and I think I'll stay here for a while.
Well, one of the things that a lot of people don't know about me is that I've been married for over 37 years to Renee Charlton. And I'll tell you what, it gets better every single day. And I love you, baby.
My favorite song is Encourage Yourself. And the word says sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to speak victory during the test. And what a lot of people might not know about me is that I am an avid encourager of myself. Sometimes you may see me and you may even notice me talking to myself, but know that I'm just simply encouraging myself, because you can't have this much joy without having a system in place to encourage yourself.
A fun fact about me is that when I was 8 years old, I was diagnosed with celiac disease, so I can't have gluten, which is wheat, barley, rye, or malt. A bonus fun fact is that I sleep with a sound machine, which is literally a wave crashing noise. Yay.
Most people do not know that I attended a private boarding school in Wheeling, West Virginia for high school. That opportunity came about from a scholarship by the way of Willie Clay. My parents felt it was best for me to get experience and exposure outside of the inner city of Pittsburgh to hopefully help me navigate through life in the future. Life, I would say, beyond their home and outside of the city limits of Pittsburgh.
The message that I would share with young people today is, first, with God, all things are truly possible, and with Him you can do anything. Secondly, it's never too late to start. I started teaching line dance at 49 after I had finished working. So it's never too late to start something new. And thirdly, I would want to say with you, put your heart into it. Find something you truly enjoy. And if you truly enjoy doing it, it'll never be work. And when you find something you passionately enjoy, share it with somebody else. They may just need a little motivation to take off so that they can fly also.
What I'd like to share with our youth is the importance of getting a good education and following what you believe are your gifts. We all get gifts from God, and I think it's important for you to try to understand what your gifts are and to follow those gifts through your education. I'd also recommend that you be able, and I think the younger folks have figured this out much sooner than we did, in reinventing yourself. Sometimes you may start on a path that you find is good, but it doesn't always take you where you need to be. And that was something that, looking back on it, I wish I had added in my accomplishments, that I have been able to reinvent myself now a couple of times throughout my working career. This is by far the most satisfying, even though it took me a little while to get here. And I'd also like to say, get registered to vote and go vote in every election for every office, whether it's president or your local city council. And take your family, people from your churches, people from your social organizations. Make sure that you vote, because your vote does count. And good luck.
Planning is something that I would like to leave with young people. To plan and to be able to adjust your planning is very important. When you decide that you want to do something, prepare yourself through education, through experience, and then implement your plan. And you have to get up every day. And my grandfather used to say, if you chop that tree every day, one day it's going to fall down. So you have to plan, you have to prepare yourself, and you have to really work on longevity. How long did I plan to be in this? And thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what I would like to do, and I wish I had a magic wand, to keep all the shooting and the murders and moms losing their kids. I wish it would all stop. And like I always say, keep peace in the streets.
The most important message I can leave behind is to develop a strong faith life in a source that will not fail you. That source for me is Jesus. To cherish your family, for in the long run, that's all you really have. And then to develop friendships, lifelong friendships that can help you and that you can help make life even greater.
Well, I am the young people, but a message to all my fellow young people would be, at Vive, our ethos is keep vibing, which means an obstacle is going to come your way, but you have to go through it, around it, or over it, and keep on persevering. Don't let anybody stop you.
The message I would like to share to all young people is to stay true to yourself, your values, and your beliefs, because at the end of the day, you're the only one that has to walk in your shoes.